This is teaching for women. So his word is sharper than a two-edged sword. So hear the word of God. Yeshua told you in John 5 to search the scriptures, for in them you'll find your eternal salvation. It was what was testified of him. He says, if you do not believe Moses' writings, how shall you believe my words? Moses wrote in Deuteronomy 18, verse 15 through 19, that Yahovah would rise up a capital P prophet, Yeshua, from amongst them. The people were to hearken onto that prophet, and he would give them everything desired at Horeb in the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear his voice anymore, that we die not. And the people well spoken which they had spoken. Yahovah would rise up a prophet from amongst them. He would put his words in that prophet's mouth, and he would give us commandments. And whoever doesn't listen to that prophet and what he commands, he will require of the people what was desired at Horeb in the day of the assembly. Deuteronomy chapter 5. He made a covenant with them at Horeb, not with their fathers, but with them. He gave them the 10 commandments, verse 22. He added no more. He gave them the 10 commandments in the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear his voice any more, that we die not. And the people well spoken which they had spoken. Yeshua gave us 2 commandments in Matthew 22, where all the law and prophets hang on those 2 commandments. Now hear the word of the Lord. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. Whose commandment is that? Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 5. Second John chapter 2 tells you, he did not write a new commandment onto us, but ones from the beginning, to love one another and keep the commandments. For this is the commandment you've heard from the beginning, and to walk in it. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thy hearts. Right after Deuteronomy chapter 5, when he made a covenant with them at Horeb in the day of the assembly. He gave the 10 commandments. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thy heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk with them when they sitteth in thy house, and when they walketh by the way, and when they lieth down, and when they rises up. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all his commandments before the Lord thy God, as he has commanded us. What is the second commandment? Thou shalt not make any graven image or anything likeness of anything that is in the heavens above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters beneath the earth. And thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them, for I am the Lord thy God, I am a jealous God, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them who love me and keep my commandments. Hosea 2:2, plead with your mother to remove the adulteries from between her breasts. Isaiah 44, the workman that stretches out his ruler, marks it with a line, makes the image of a man according to a beauty of a man. Revelations 13, the false Messiah that had horns like a lamb, casting fire down, convincing them to make an image, a graven image, onto the beast that had a wound by the sword and did live. The word of the Lord is sharper than a two-edged sword. Revelations 13:18. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. G5516. Chi Ze Stigma. And it is your cross, your crucifix. You need to read Psalms 115 and 135. By your idols, you become like them. They have eyes, but they see not. They have ears, but they hear not. They have legs, but they do not walk in the ways of the Lord. And whoever trusts in them become like them. The whole world is deceived. Every single church building has the image made onto the beast because they worship the Antichrist, Jesus Christ, the one that came in his own name. For Yeshua in John 5, verse 42 and 43 warns you, because he knows you do not have the love of God in you. 1 John chapter 5, for this is the love of God, to keep his commandments, and his commandments aren't grievous. I came in my Father's name, Yeshua, and you receive me not. But there's going to be one that comes in his own name that you're going to receive. The lawless Jesus. The man of perdition, who has elevated himself to be the Most High, who sits in the temple, for you are the temple. You've asked him into your hearts, teaching you Baal worship. The Egyptians wore a Tammuz cross around their neck and between their breasts, honoring the sun god towards the east in Ezekiel 8. On Sunday, sun god day worship. For the Sabbath is dawn Saturday to dawn Sunday, the seventh day. His mark on his children. Exodus 31, verse 16 through 18. His sign in the Strong's, which means mark. John 14, he tells you how to receive the Spirit of truth. If you love me, keep my commandments, and I pray to the Father to send you the Spirit of truth, that the world cannot receive, neither knows or seeks any longer, because 1 John chapter 2, verse 3 and 4, this is how we know him, when we keep his commandments, and him who says he knows him and keeps not his commandments is a liar, and the truth is not in him. The Jeremiah 23 pastors doing a lot of lip service, Matthew 15 and Mark 7, what Yeshua rebuked the Pharisees for, flattering Yahovah with their mouth, but their heart was far from him, doing commandments of men, traditions of men over the commandments of Yahovah. For the grace of God is not lasciviousness. In Titus 2, the grace of God is especially divine influence upon the hearts. His conviction, look it up in the Strong's, it's G5485. And it teaches you in Titus 2 to deny sin and lust of this world, the opposite of lasciviousness, the opposite of unbridled lust, wantonness, shamelessness, the doctrine that you can come before the Lord shameless in your sin. It teaches you to deny sin and lust so you can live soberly without pride and righteously, keeping Yeshua's commandment and two commandments in Matthew 22, to love God with all your heart, soul, and mind, keeping the 10 commandments in your heart, teaching them